Hey guys, it's Oku here with a new video going over Winter Soldier, aka Bucky. In this video, we'll be going over his abilities, positioning, matchups, and some tips and tricks along the way to make you a better Bucky. If you find this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. If you think I missed anything, let me know in the comments below, or if you have a suggestion for who you want me to cover next, just let me know. Anyways, let's get straight into it. Bucky has 3 primary abilities and a passive, each one having its own use case, starting with his primary fire. 3 rounds in the mag seems like nothing, but each ability used reloads your primary. Each shot does 75 damage with fall off beginning at 20 meters, decreasing to 60% of base damage at 40 meters. Tainted Voltage, his E ability. Tainted Voltage does 55 damage, slowing enemies it hits by 35% for 2 seconds, pierces through enemies, and can knock down flying heroes. You want to mostly be using this ability for chip damage and to take advantage of his passive. Speaking of which, Ceaseless Charge. His passive reloads his weapon every time you use an ability, also granting bonus health dependent on which ability you use. The Bionic Hook and Tainted Voltage grant 40 health each, and Trooper's Fist and Kraken Impact grant 50 health each. Next up, Bionic Hook. This ability charges up and launches a hook, grabbing any unsuspecting opponents, bringing them towards you. This cancels any abilities, including ultimates, if timed properly. This hook can be especially deadly if paired with his next ability, Trooper's Fist. You dash forward, grabbing enemies in your way and launching them up, at the end of the dash doing 65 damage and sending them forward. A really brutal combo is to combine Bionic Hook with this dash. After you pull an enemy, if you turn and dash into them, you can force them into your team, displacing them, allowing for an easy kill. Infinite Grit. This is his team up with Rocket. Rocket can put down a station every 45 seconds that increases fire rate by 25% and provides infinite ammo while in range. You should be focusing on just hitting as many shots as you can while this is up. Last, and certainly not least, is Bucky's ultimate, Kraken Impact. I know you all seen the clips doom scrolling late at night of a Bucky chaining 22 of these together with the enemy team praying for mercy, but every time you use it, it feels like you tickled them with the world's largest feather. I'm here to fix that. Bucky's ultimate has a few quirks to it. Firstly, when hitting with it, you deal 100 damage in a 5-meter radius, marking each enemy with a 20% culling threshold. This means that you want to be targeting enemies that are already low, either from your team whittling them down, or if it's just you hitting a couple of shots. Each use of Kraken Impact triggers your passive. In practice, this means that each time you reset, your primary reloads, you gain 50 overheal, and you launch into the air. A couple of things to note about his ultimate is each enemy hit that gets the 20% cull indicated by the bright red health is debuffed for 5 seconds, meaning that you need to kill them within that time frame to reset. Each reset lasts 8 seconds, so make sure you get some damage in between each use to maximize value. Okay, so that's his abilities covered. Now we're going to be going into positioning. When playing Bucky, you want to be in a position to both assist your backline against divers and to help your tank in the front line. Unlike other heroes, for example Hela, you want to be primarily with your team rather than take big flanks or far off angles. This isn't to say that there aren't times when you should be taking that off angle, for example, to push a Hela off high ground, but this is how you typically want to play. Bucky is a brawler. He wants to be fighting in close to close mid-range. His hook and dash allow him to really stop any divers that threaten the backline, and his hook allows for big plays like pulling the enemy tank out of position. Okay, so we're going to be going into some specific matchups, starting with Vanguard. Hulk. Very easy matchup. I tend to jump shot him to make it easier to headshot him. When fighting, look to save your hook until Hulk tries to leave, keeping him nearby to secure the kill. Captain America. A good cap can be very hard to kill. Look to get behind him so he can't block you. Save your dash when he's lower in health since he can't block it. Doctor Strange. Strange is pretty straightforward. If your team is shooting into his barrier, you shoot too. Look to save your abilities till after he drops his shield. If he flies up, you can hit him with Tainted Voltage to knock him back down, making it easier to secure the kill. Magneto. Wait until after he uses his shield and bubble before going to hook him. Both can deflect your hook, wasting the cooldown. Once you hook Magneto, he has a very low mobility, making him an easy target. Penny. Very free on Bucky. She has no barriers and limited escape options. As long as you land your hook, you can pull her away from her nested mines, nullifying most of her utility. Thor. He has a very big head hitbox. Look to hit as many headshots as possible. Once you see him trying to leave, hook him to secure the elim. And last of the vanguards, Venom. When fighting Venom, look to save your hook for either when he tries to leave, usually indicated by him looking up to swing out, or to pull him away from your supports towards the rest of your team. Venom, much like Thor, is really easy to headshot, so it shouldn't be hard to kill him. All in all, Bucky is a really strong anti-tank hero, so you want to play him with that in mind. On to duelists. Black Panther. Be mindful of his spear. If he misses, he doesn't get a dash reset, making him a sitting duck to hook and kill. Save your own dash for after he dashes through you. This should make killing him a lot easier. Black Widow. Just don't peek her. If you can take an off angle and hit her first, she's very free. Hawkeye. Don't play at his range. Use cover and your tanks to push up. Try and hook him towards yourself. His escape options are very limited, and if your dash is off cooldown, you can follow him very easily. Hela. Same as Hawkeye, although when she is ulting, you do crazy damage if you hit your headshots, meaning it's viable to knock her out of it if your own team's looking at her. Iron Fist. Be very mindful of his parry. If you can avoid taking a fair 1v1 against him, do that. He can be very difficult to kill. Don't bother dashing into him since he can hit you while you're dashing. Iron Man. Look to hit your tainted voltage on him. It makes it very easy to kill him since he falls straight down. If he's close, don't be afraid to try and hook him, because if you do, it's basically a free kill. Magic. She can be very tricky to pin down. Look to dash her after she uses both portals to try and finish her off quick. If she's trying to disengage, look to hook her back to finish the job. Mr. Fantastic. Don't shoot into him while he's a wall. This boosts his damage with that ability. Try and hit a couple of shots before hugging him since he can be quite tanky. Moon Knight. Pretty straightforward. Only thing to keep in mind is if you suspect he has his ultimate, save your dash to get out of the radius of his ultimate. Namor. Don't forget to shoot his turrets. If the Namor is putting them on top of each other, it's really easy for you to dispose of them since your bullets have a small explosion radius. Avoid targeting him with your ultimate because his bubble removes the culling strike effect, meaning you can't get a reset from him. Psylocke. Try and avoid taking a 1v1 with Psylocke. If she's on your supports, try and hook her. Most of the time she will dash away before you can do any serious damage after that hook. If you suspect a Psylocke is invisible somewhere, use Tainted Voltage since it has quite a wide hit range. Scarlet Witch. Keep in mind she has 2 uses of her phase out ability, meaning you only get 1 hit maybe if you hook her, and there's no reason to dash her since she can leave right away. If she's ulting, you can hook her to cancel it. Spider-Man. Wait until he grabs you to dash into him. When trying to hook him, keep in mind that he's crowd control immune when grabbing anyone, so you can't hook him. Like Scarlet, you can hook him out of his ultimate. Squirrel Girl. Very straightforward. Keep in mind her ultimate is pretty deadly now, but very easy to kill, so make sure you kill it when you have the opportunity to. Star-Lord. Pay attention to his dodges. You can't hook or hit him while he's dodging. When he's ulting, try and hit Tainted Voltage. It can knock him out of the air, breaking line of sight for a majority of his ultimate. Storm. Super free, just hit your shots and Tainted Voltage. Her ult, on the other hand, will mess you up. You cannot hook her out of it either. Punisher. Be mindful of his shotgun when hooking him. You are very well equipped to deal with his turret, so deal with it when needed. Winter Soldier. Simply be better. But in all seriousness, you want to be looking to pull him out of position, seeing as how he has very limited mobility. Wolverine. Like Iron Fist, be mindful that he can hit you while you're dashing. Triggering his passive while he has the culling threshold from your ultimate resets the charge, like when you get a kill, so he's a good target for your ult. Okay, lastly, going into strategists, Adam Warlock. Pay attention to when he uses his Soul Bond ability. Wait to use your ultimate until afterwards. Otherwise, he's a very free target with no mobility. Cloak and Dagger. Be mindful of her phase out ability. It can prevent you from hitting anyone with your ultimate within that radius. Invisible Woman. When her ultimate is up, look to dash or hook her out of the radius and try and kill her to end the ultimate early. Loki. We love Loki. You get resets off his clones, so if you can't seem to kill anyone, you can kill a decoy. Just keep in mind when he uses his dark crystals, since anyone in the radius does not get marked by your ultimate. Luna Snow. If your team is coordinated, you can ult the Luna while she's ulting and kill her through her ult. Keep in mind, this can be kind of risky. Mantis. It's the same thing as Luna, but easier to do. She doesn't have nearly as much healing potential during her ultimate. Okay, lastly, Rocket. Very useful if he's on your team. If he's on the other team, look to hook and headshot him. It's very easy with where your barrel and his head hitbox land after a hook. Okay, so that's all the matchups covered. To wrap it all up, Bucky is a powerful and versatile hero who can absolutely dominate in the right hands. With his strong kit, impressive survivability, and insane damage potential, he's a solid pick for anyone who enjoys aggressive playstyles and outplaying their opponents. Remember, positioning is key. Stay near your team to maximize Bucky's strengths while being ready to dive in and make big plays with his ultimate. And with the right matchups, you can really shine whether you're taking on tanks, duelists, or strategists. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for future guides or if I missed anything. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay armed and dangerous out there. Peace.